Hi everyone, it's Graham again and welcome back to my channel. So today I am here with my January reading wrap up. I have 8 books to share with you, 6 of which I have completed and 2 I'm carrying over into February. So yeah, but firstly I should apologise for my radio silence on BookTube. I haven't been in a very good place lately. I am still deaf in this ear from my perforated eardrum, so that's kind of getting to me. Work has been really stressful, but I start a new job on the 16th of February and I am so excited. I'll be working from home and I won't have the stress of constantly needing to keep my mobile phone switched on and right by my side. And when I switch off at the end of a shift, the time is mine. It's Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and I have every single weekend off. I'm 35, and my husband Duncan made a comment a couple of weeks ago saying that I've never had a proper job, meaning Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, with every weekend off. And now I do, and I cannot wait to just slip into that routine that he does, because he has the same job. We'll be working for the same organisation, which is really exciting. But anyway, you're here for the books, so let's get on. So as always, they're not in any particular reading order, they're just in the order that I had them for my thumbnail picture, which you have probably seen when you clicked on this video. But here we go. So the first one I have is The Girl, the Penguin, the Homeschooling and the Gin. And this is by Guy Adams and W.R. Foster, and it's a parody. I absolutely love these little parodies. This one talks about obviously the COVID lockdown and the homeschooling and the too much booze that we all had, and it's really fun and I really enjoyed it. The artwork is really clever, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I'll get the next one here. So this is the man's thing there on the front of his shield, I think it is. It says "Scream if you want to buy pasta." So yeah, there we go, because obviously pasta was in high demand and there was none in the shops. But yeah, this was really fun and I really enjoyed it. If you come across a copy of this, absolutely do get it and read it, because it's brilliant. So I finally finished The Witch's Vacuum Cleaner by Terry Pratchett. I didn't dislike this, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I think this was one of the TBR choices from my TBR jar last year, and I think it was a TBR jar pick, but I can't remember if it was like October or November. It took me a long time to read, and I just finished this like mid-January. Yeah, like I say, I've not been in a great place. My reading has taken a bit of a slump, and yeah, this was okay. It was very sort of surreal and kind of out there, the collection of 14 stories. But yeah, it was enjoyable, but would I read it again? Probably not. But that's not to say that if you read it, you wouldn't enjoy it, because it was fun. So next I have a book that I have now read maybe, I think 2 or 3 times, and I absolutely love this. This was January's pick for Christie Fest, and this is And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. This is brilliant. This is probably one of her most famous novels. It tells the story of 10 people who are invited to an island off the English coast, and they are staying in a house, and one by one they each start to be bumped off because they have committed crimes in their past, and it's crimes that the law can't punish them for. So yeah, who kills them? I'm not going to say, but if you've read it, you know. But this is brilliant, and I would absolutely reread this again in a heartbeat. It's a brilliant one. Probably one of my favourite Agatha Christie's. We all know which one my favourite is, Murder on the Orient Express, but this is up there, probably in my top 10. But yeah, if you get a chance to read this one, certainly do, because it's brilliant. Then we have the first of two books that I'm carrying over, no, not carrying over. Yes, I am carrying over into February. One of these days I'll get through and I won't mess up and I'll remember what I'm saying, but there we go. So it is Luckenbooth by Jenny Fagan. I'm actually not reading this physically, I'm listening to this on Audible. It's really dark, it's really sort of, there's a sense of something building and a creepiness, and if that front cover is anything to go by, definitely very, very creepy. It tells the story of 10 Luckenbooth Close, which is a tenement building in Edinburgh, and it goes from 1910 right up to, I think, 1999. So it's like 9 decades of history of this block of flats, and it has a curse placed upon it by the devil's daughter. So far so good. I'm about halfway through, maybe just a bit more than halfway, and it's brilliant. Yeah, really, really good. And my husband Duncan and I are actually going to an event in March for Jenny Fagan's next book, which is called Hex, and that sounds absolutely amazing. It's about like witchcraft and women and all that kind of thing, and it just sounds great. So yeah, I will be taking this copy along to be signed. Absolutely read that, that's so good. The next one is another audio that my husband Duncan and I are listening to, and it is Mel Brooks' All About Me, My Remarkable Life in Showbiz. I don't think I've hauled this one yet, so consider it hauled now. This is actor, writer, producer, filmmaker, director, Mel Brooks, telling the story of his life in showbiz. He is responsible for comedy films such as Blazing Saddles, which is a bit sort of un-PC nowadays, Young Frankenstein, and things like The Producers and that. So funny. It's read by the author himself, and it's just got such a feeling of warmth and you know, just fun. And the man is in his mid-90s and he's just so full of energy and just so funny, and we're really thoroughly enjoying that. We haven't listened to it for a few days just because my work has been crazy, but that will soon change to when I'm working from home. I cannot wait, I'm so excited. But yeah, this is really good, and consider this me hauling it. So then we have a book that took me maybe about 2 weeks to read, but I was wanting to take my time with it because I'd heard that it was absolutely brilliant, and it is The Comfort Book by Matt Haig. This is my first Matt Haig book that I've ever read, and I really enjoyed this. This was lovely. It's full of like sort of inspirational quotes and like just little sort of pieces of writing about that talks about if you're depressed, bringing yourself back from that and trying to make yourself as happy as possible. And it's just lovely. This is the kind of book that you could absolutely dip into. You don't need to read this from cover to cover. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. And I don't think I've hauled this either, so consider this hauled. I also have the Christmas edition of this, which has like sort of like snowflakes on the front, because I saw it and I thought that's really pretty and I couldn't be without it. So yeah, there we go. And second last, I have this, which is sort of like a storybook, picture book kind of thing, and it's just lovely. And I didn't know that this existed. I didn't know this was a thing until about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I immediately had to buy it. It is The Adventures of Alice Lascelles by Alexandrina Victoria, aged 10 3/4. Sorry for the sun blazing in there. So this is a children's story written and illustrated by Queen Victoria when she was 10 years old. So that's even before she was queen, even before she knew she was going to be queen. This is just gorgeous. It's like cloth bound and just lovely, beautiful colours. And the illustrations are actually paper dolls that Queen Victoria had as a child. She was a very lonely child. She didn't have friends. And that sun, I can see it's really blazing there, quite pretty. It's like I have a halo. Yeah, but she made these paper dolls with her governess, and they cut them out and coloured them in, and she made up stories about them, and it's just lovely. It's about a little girl who has a wicked stepmother who sends her away to boarding school, and about how she makes friends at boarding school. And it's just lovely. It's really, really beautiful. And I'm so happy to have this in my collection. And it's one that I probably will reread in the future. Take you about an hour to read. Just a lovely way to pass an hour, maybe 2 hours, depending on how quickly you go. But yeah, this was lovely. And then finally, I don't actually have the physical book because I loaned it out to a friend. I know, shock horror. I don't loan my books out, but I did. So there we go. But I've taken a screenshot of the audiobook because Duncan and I listened to it via Audible. And if we listen to a book via Audible, I can't not have the physical copy, as you've probably already realised. But it is Baggage, Tales from a Fully Packed Life by Alan Cumming, and it's read by Alan Cumming. This was so good. It kind of not so much follows on from Not My Father's Son, but it kind of, yeah, it goes more into depth of his career and his life in showbiz, and about his dalliances with alcohol and drugs, and a bit too much sex and promiscuity and all that kind of thing. And it's so good. It's so heartwarming, even though some of the things he's talking about are quite sort of shocking. Again, he just brings a life to it, and it was just brilliant, and we both thoroughly enjoyed it. But yes, before that sun absolutely takes over the video, I don't usually do videos during the day. I do them at night, so the sun isn't there, but yeah, there we go. But before I get completely sort of like blazed out by the sun, I will say thank you so much for watching. Whatever you're doing, I hope you have so much fun doing it. Whatever you're reading, I hope you love it. Stay fabulous, be amazing, be yourself, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon for another video. Bye bye.